The information that we received is they met online on an app, and they knew each other exactly about a week. I think they met a couple days prior to New Year's Eve, but the first time they'd actually physically seen each other was New Year's Eve.
Well, Lynn Duan's mother says that their family is completely devastated, as you can imagine. She says her daughter did mention about meeting someone online, never thinking something like this could happen. A mother trying to process the loss of her only child.
Unbelievable.
Speaking with KHOU 11 via phone, Wendy Duan's mother, who asked us not to use her name.
It was a brutal murder, sadly for her and her family and her friends. So we're able to do our part, a little part in what we can do to try to bring him to justice.
Duan was a beloved Alief ISD teacher who had taught 3rd grade at Boone Elementary for several years. The district's Twitter account is filled with photos showing her love for teaching and her students. In light of the tragedy,
there's got to be a general awareness.
Authorities are sending this message to anyone planning to meet someone online.
Communicating with your parents, your family, your friends. Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is who I'm going out with. This is where we're meeting. Are we meeting in a very public place? Are there other people around? Things of that nature.
Wendy, don't know someone online. It's dangerous. That you don't know somebody, the background.
This video is an update to the story that I did about Wendy Duan. She was the 28-year-old Alief Independent School District teacher that was murdered in her backyard in Sugar Land, Texas. The person that murdered her is named Chavis Thompson. He is 26 years old, and he fled to Louisiana after he killed her, and they tracked him and they're extraditing him back to Sugar Land, Texas, and Fort Bend County. She met this guy 1 week prior to the shooting online on a dating site called MEETME. You know, this is very sad because nowadays it's hard to engage with people. It's hard to meet with people because you can't trust people nowadays. She's out on a dating site just looking for love. A lot of people don't want to be alone, want to have that companionship. And, you know, it really doesn't matter whether you meet someone on a dating site or in church or in a club or in the park. It doesn't matter. There are just bad people running around on this earth creating problems and snatching up lives. So y'all be careful out there on this dating situation, on meeting people, period. Keep your eyes open and ask God to surround you with a wedge of protection to cover you in the blood of Jesus. If you don't believe in Jesus, whoever you believe in, you need to ask your God to surround you with a layer of protection, because Satan is running rapid. He's snatching up souls just quickly, and if you don't have some type of protection, you're going to be another statistic. This is very sad. We're going to pray for her family, that they get some type of closure now that this guy is off the streets. And to add insult to injury, he was already out on bond from a previous situation with a family member. He's just bad. Just 26-year-old hothead. He shot her 10 times. What could she have possibly said or done to him that will cause him to shoot her 10 times? 10. This is very sad. I hope your ass get the death penalty. Me personally. I'll be believe that if you kill somebody, then, not in self-defense, you need to go. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. Because think before you go out there and do a split-second anger situation turn into a lifetime of sorrow for yourself. Think, quit being so hot-headed. Here goes the rest of the story.
Her mother says Wendy had mentioned Thompson, someone she immediately had a bad feeling about.
She said, why, Mommy? I said, this guy, the face, not a good guy.
Duan, a beloved A-Leaf ISD teacher who taught 3rd grade at Boone Elementary. Her mother says Wendy was a giver who always showed a special love for her students.
Every Thursday, she asked me go like dollar store, 99 cents, buy some gift for the kids.
She believes Thompson took her daughter's kindness for weakness, hoping he remains behind bars.
The guy very evil. Take her life away. I hope this guy has to get the full legal punishment.
Welcome to Straddled Events. On this channel, we bring you the truth. Sometimes the truth is quite ugly, unbearable, and you just don't want to deal with it. But on this channel, you're gonna get it anyway. You are straddled the fence of good versus evil, right versus wrong. And on this channel, we're gonna tell you to do better. Please like, dislike, subscribe, and share the videos. Now let's go.
Well, the man accused of shooting and killing an A-Leaf ISD teacher over the weekend has now been arrested. Investigators believe the two met on a dating website just 1 week before that brutal murder. Fox 26's Natalie He joining us live from Sugar Land with these just horrifying details. Natalie.
Caroline, that's right. Sugar Land police tell us 28-year-old Wendy Duan had invited her friends over to meet this new man in her life for the first time on Saturday. Then shortly after the get-together started, police say the two started arguing and the suspect shot Wendy more than 10 times before fleeing to Louisiana.
26-year-old Chavis Thompson was arrested Wednesday and charged with murdering 28-year-old Wendy Duan.
They had just met face-to-face or in person on New Year's Eve, so exactly a week prior to the murder.
According to Sugar Land Police Sergeant Matt Levan, Duan and Thompson had met on the dating site MEETME just a week before the fatal shooting. Around 9:50 p.m. last Saturday, investigators say the two were hanging out with Duan's friends at her home on Oxford Mills Lane in Sugar Land when they started arguing.
It had started inside the house. It kind of spilled into the backyard of the house. At that point, gunfire erupted, and our witnesses had actually left the house at that point for their own safety. She was shot multiple times, over 10 times. So very brutal, very callous murder.
Investigators say Thompson then left in his own vehicle. His car later identified by surveillance cameras nearby and tracked to Louisiana by the Gulf Coast Violent Offenders Task Force.
I just heard that her students loved her a lot. I really feel sad for them. I feel sad for the family. Hope they overcome this.
Those who knew the Boone Elementary School teacher said she was a kind and soft-spoken person who dedicated her career to helping kids and then spending her free time volunteering to feed the homeless.
She did have a great spirit. She was very nice and a loving person.
Investigators say Thompson is expected to have an extradition hearing soon and will be transported back to the Fort Bend County Jail soon after that. We did also search his records and found out that Thompson does have a criminal past. In fact, he was actually out on bond for a previous family assault charge back in May. We'll have more details on that coming up at 6 o'clock on The News Edge. From now, we're live in Sugar Land. Natalie He, Fox 26 News.